Welcome to Tuesday's podcast, AJ Let's Talk Sports podcast, YouTube. I'm dropping on both, so you can have your choice of how you want to listen and watch. So storyboards and all that stuff's not really all that exciting, but I'm trying to learn the video editing right now. Shotcut is what I'm using. It's a free video editing software program that I'm utilizing right now, and I do Audacity in the audio editing format as well. Had a recent phone call with Coach Cates out of Vandalia football program, so I'm gonna be doing that in the fall. At least I'll be busy for the fall. As of right now, everything's all up in the air, but I have a special segment that I was just thinking about today. I wasn't even gonna drop a podcast or a YouTube, but since I have a little bit of time, also check out my Linktree app. It's gonna be in the description page. You got Model Scouts, that's a big one. Christian Cafe is also a big one. It's a dating site, all Christian owned dating site. Also, you can check out Ohio State Buckeyes page. Remember to click on the Linktree app to get all my sponsorships as well. So we're gonna talk about top headlines now, and we have a big time announcement to make today for February 15th on this day in sports history, and this is going to be the whole segment. I got three people to talk about, and we're going to focus on just one. Remembering Tommy is going to be the topic of conversation and the title of today's show. Top headlines. Remember that though. Top headlines. Djokovic says he will opt out of future Grand Slams with COVID-19 vaccine mandates. In his first interview since deported from Australia last month, he reiterated, Djokovic said, his stance on not getting vaccinated against COVID-19 and said he would opt out of playing in future majors that would require him getting a vaccine. Yes, that is the price that I'm willing to pay, Djokovic told BBC in a story published early Tuesday morning. The number one player in the world was at the center of a global media firestorm. We all know about that. He's 34 years old, not going for the Grand Slams. Arizona Cardinals QB Kyler Murray, all of this nonsense is not what I'm about. Murray posted on Instagram on Monday that all this nonsense is not what I'm about. Vowed to grow and get better a day after sources had described Arizona Cardinals quarterback on ESPN, Chris Morrison, as self-centered, immature, and someone who points fingers. Interesting. Fire coming out of NFL right now in Arizona. Chris Morrison laying it down. Quote, I play this game for the love of it. My teammates, everyone who has helped me get to this position that believed in me and to win championships. All of this nonsense is not what I'm about. Never has been, never will be. So there's an end quote there. So fire, Arizona. Tyrik Evans, you guys remember him, reinstated by the NBA and NBPA after a 2-year ban. After a 2-year ban for violating the NBA, National Basketball Players Association anti-drug program, Tyrik Evans has been reinstated. He's 32 years old now and is eligible to begin renegotiations with teams immediately and can sign a contract as soon as Friday at noon. The league announced, this was yesterday they announced that Evans is considered to be in good physical condition, is expected to start making himself available to work out, 15.7 points a game on average, 4.8 rebounds, 4.6 assists, 594 career games. Evans is the first player to be suspended and reinstated since Chris Birdman Anderson's reinstatement back in 2008. Do y'all remember him? Evans was a 2010 NBA Rookie of the Year with the Sacramento Kings. Also played at the Pelicans, the Grizzlies, and Indiana Pacers from 2018 to 2019. Evans was a 4th overall pick out of Memphis in 2009. Top headlines for your Taco Tuesday. Eat you a taco today.
That negativity you force on top of me. Only I can set me free. I wanna be the best that I can be. You better go.
Topic of conversation. Like I said, it was a special segment. I usually do Monday's recap, and then Thursday is Ohio State NCAA basketball, and then Friday is going to be now PGA Tour, PGA Golf. All my golfers out there. I know in Southwest Ohio where you're not golfing, probably could if you want to do that snow golf and use that ball and put that ribbon around it and then hit the ball around. But anyways, this is going to be a non-edited topic of conversation show. So if I mess up, I mess up. Who cares? But the top headlines is going to be edited. So anyway, I don't have time for all that other stuff. Season 3, episode 20. Hope you like the top headlines. And we're going into Remembering Tommy. Tommy Morrison. He was in Rocky V, the star in Rocky V with Sylvester Stallone. And yes, Tommy Morrison was a real boxer. He was a heavyweight boxer. So we're going to talk more about him and remembering him. And then the 3 athletes that I chose, remembering February 15th on this day in sports history, we're going Awesome Bill from Dawsonville, staying in NASCAR. There's back-to-back NASCARs here. 1987, the 29th Daytona 500, Bill Elliott. leads for 104 of 200 laps, including the last 3, and he won the pole at 210.364 miles per hour. And that, boys, is moving. Awesome Bill from Dawsonville, Bill Elliott. I remember he had a Bill Elliott's NASCAR or something on Game Boy back in the day. No color Game Boy, by the way. Then we're going to remember 1998, the 40th Daytona 500, staying in NASCAR. Dale Earnhardt Sr., only Daytona win in his 20th start, snaps a 59-race winless streak back in 1998. And, of course, he passed away at that track in 2001, I believe it was. 2001. So February 15th, on this day in sports history, Daytona 500, 1998, Dale Earnhardt finally gets his win at the 40th Daytona 500. And remembering Dale Earnhardt, of course, like I said here, I actually wrote everything down. Remembering Tommy Morrison, I know, Tommy Morrison's not as famous, but he kind of stuck out at me when I was, because we just talked about Rocky a little bit ago, like not on my podcast, but to my brother and all that stuff. And I totally forgot about Tommy Morrison. Tommy Machine Gun, I think he's Machine Gun in the movie, but his name is Duke, the Duke in real life. And we're going to talk about him. But Dale Earnhardt, he was the reason why I watch NASCAR all the time, and the reason why I quit watching NASCAR. And his son, Dale Jr., wasn't even close and couldn't even hold a candle to Mr. Dale Jr., Dale Sr. I used to have as a CD holder back in the day when you had CDs, and it was a Dale Earnhardt CD holder number 3 on it and everything. It was pretty sweet. And my Chevy Camaro, baby. But anyway, so we're actually going to remember, it should be a quick show here. We're actually remembering Tommy Morrison. Thomas David Morrison, January 2nd, 1969. He passed away September 1st, 2013. Now, it is all this, there's a lot of little untold stories and truths about his passing, but I don't want to talk about the passing of Tommy Morrison. But he did pass away in Nebraska. So in 1996, February 15th, on this day in history, he got HIV and he had to quit boxing. That was back in 1996. We're going to take a look a little bit at his career and his heavyweight matches. He had a total of 52 fights. He fought George Foreman, the George Foreman grill. Yeah, the George Foreman, he actually was a boxer. Versus Tommy Morrison, the Star Spangled Battle. So this happened June 7th, 1993, just 3 years prior to him getting HIV. This was the WBO Heavyweight Championship. And guess who won this fight? Yes, Tommy Morrison out of Jay, Oklahoma, 36-1. He's 6'2", 226. He was the number 2 ranked heavyweight at the time. Morrison defeated Foreman by 12-round unanimous decision. Check that out. Tommy Morrison was the WBO heavyweight champ. Tommy the Duke is what they called him. So that right there, kids, for a history lesson, is what I'm talking about. And then there was different fights. I thought it was going to show the different fights. Like he fought a Sphinx, I think. Oh, no, Lennox Lewis. He fought Lennox Lewis. He lost to Lennox Lewis by TKO. But we're trying to remember him here. And like I said, it was the Rocky V was in 1990 when he was Tommy Gunn. But he's out of Gravette, Arkansas. He was actually born January 2nd, 1969. So he is a Capricorn, by the way. Passed away in Omaha, Nebraska. He was only 44 years old. I'd like to take a moment of silence for a second. Just a moment remembering Tommy Morrison. And this is Remembering Tommy podcast on YouTube. So the total fights, 52. He's 48-3. 42 wins by knockout. The dude's a freaking beast. Morrison had previously attempted a comeback back in 2007 when the Nevada Commission lifted the indefinite worldwide suspension in 2006. In August of 2013, Morrison's mother announced that her son was at final stages of AIDS, and he died on September 1st, 2013. Now, I don't know these. So here's what it's saying. 44 years old, septicemia, septic shock, multi-system organ failure, and ultimately cardiac arrest is what he died from. But personal life, back in 1996, Morrison was married to 2 women at the same time. Didn't know you can do that, but apparently you can. Don Freeman and Don Gilbert. Morrison had 2 children by age of 19. Tommy and Tricia Morrison were engaged in 2009 and married in 2011. Like I said, he had the HIV health problems, which apparently led to his passing. In December 1993, Morris was charged with assault and public intoxication at the University of Iowa, for a University of Iowa student. He was only fined $310. I don't want to talk any bad things about Tommy Morrison, but just remembering Tommy Morrison, and that's what the show is about here, remembering Tommy. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a really quick show. But most remembered by all you younger generations. I'm 38 years old now, and yes, 38, it kind of sucks. But with Sylvester Stallone, the 1990 film Rocky V, when he was Tommy Gunn, and they got into it, kind of a Sylvester. I highly recommend Rocky V. Rocky IV is my favorite, though, the one before that. But Rocky V is a really good one, too, with Tommy Gunn and Sylvester Stallone, when Tommy is his protege, see him on the streets, and then they bring him up, and then he leaves. And I don't know. Ruin the whole movie for you guys if you haven't seen it, but you guys need to watch it. If you're younger generation, need to watch Rocky V. I'd recommend these younger generations are all about binge watching movies and binge watching shows. I highly recommend the whole Rocky series. Now, after Rocky V, it gets a little bit. I mean, now Rocky, what's the one that he has? There's like 7 of them, but I recommend watching all, like 1, 2, 3. I think all of them. All of them. Rocky IV is my favorite. Don't go backwards either. Start watching it from Rocky 1 all the way on, and then finish it off. I just want to let you know that. So anyways, do you want to look at the early life of him? He was actually part Native American. Didn't know that. So check this out. Out of Gravette, Arkansas, his mother, Diana, was a Native American, half Ponca and half Otoe, while his father, Tim, was an Irish ancestor. Morrison raised Delaware County, Oklahoma, spending most of his teenage years in Jay. The nickname Duke, the Duke, is based on the claim that he was a grand nephew or otherwise distant relative of John Wayne. Tommy's father urged him to take up boxing at age 10. When Tommy was 13 years old, his mother used a fake ID and entered her son into 15 tough man contests. That's funny. The minimum age for contest was 21. He later told the New York Times that he lost only one of those matches. That's crazy. After graduating from high school in 1988, I was 4 years old. He received a football scholarship at Emporia State University. In the same year, Morrison won the regional heavyweight title, Kansas City Golden Gloves from Donald Ellis, and advanced to National Golden Gloves in Omaha, Nebraska, where he had decisioned Javier Alvarez in the prelims and decisioned Warren Williams in the quarterfinals, but lost to a split decision in Derek Eisenman in the semis. 2 weeks later, Morrison took part in the Western Olympic Trials in Houston, Texas, defeating Robert Hargrave by a 4-1 major decision, and John Bray 5-0 unanimous decision in the finals, and qualifying for the Nationals for the Outstanding Fighter Award of the tournament. 2 weeks after that, fighting out of Republic of Missouri, at the National Olympic Trials in Concord, California, July 6, 1988, Morrison lost 0-5 versus Ray Mercer, who went on to win the gold medal at Seoul Olympics. So there's a nice little backstory for it. As an amateur, Morrison claimed 222 fights, most of which were local matchups back in 1988 Olympic trials, being the top of his amateur career. His amateur record is 202 wins and 20 losses. Tommy, the Duke Morrison, remembering him, and as he passed away back on September 1st, 2013. And all I have to say is, what do I usually say? God bless. And tip your waitress, my friends.